Hi there, hope you're doing amazing today. I think this episode is really important and for many reasons, a lot of insights there for sure, but also just from a hope perspective, we're going to see how Ellen, who has had insomnia for a long time, I think we're talking years here. I'm going to answer that in a second, but I think we're talking years, is doing so much better, really just 1 month into cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. For if you want like the full background, then tune into episode pod 11, Ellen's first step towards better sleep. That one is called. And if you don't, then no worries. I'm going to start off today by just reading a little bit from an email from Ellen from April 22nd, and then we're going to jump to the most recent email. So the email that I want to start with is titled, or the title of it was like not doing so well, and I think this was the second or third email I had gotten from Ellen. So I'm going to read a part from it here, starting from the top. Daniel, I look forward to the video podcast, but I'm really discouraged. I wish that I had Catherine's problem, paradoxical insomnia. She is obviously sleeping more than she realizes. I signed up to work with Martin, but now I question whether CBTI is right for me. In the past week, I've been doing it religiously. Yesterday was another sleepless night. Had one 3 days ago. Both occurred when I didn't take any med supplements other than melatonin and glycine. Meds may not be 100% solution, but in the last 6 days, the 4 days I slept were all associated with taking some meds. I really thought yesterday was going to break through night when it would come together for me. That was the stretch from the early part of that email. I'm just going to finish off with the last part of that first email from Ellen. She said, do some people just not get enough of a sleep drive day in, day out? Could my circadian rhythm of sleep-wake really be on a 48-hour basis, especially without meds, and if I get as little as 4 hours sleep the night before? So with that in mind, let's move to that email I talked about that is really recent. And as you can tell from that first email, Ellen was not very, she was discouraged. She talked a lot, I remember, about how maybe her circadian rhythm was off. Maybe she wasn't a 27 or 28 hour cycle, and she often didn't sleep at all, or just slept an hour or two, etc. And over the past few weeks, I've seen a lot of comments from Ellen on the YouTube channel, a lot of not so many emails, actually, mostly comments, a few emails, but I've seen how she has had this very positive approach despite everything that's happened, and I was so happy to see this email yesterday. The title was Progress exclamation mark, and I'm going to read the whole email. A lot to learn from this. Hi Daniel, just wanted to give you an update as to how well I'm doing beyond what I just posted on your video. I can't thank you enough. If you hadn't been such a dedicated spokesperson for CBTI, I would never have signed up for Martin's course/coaching, which has been invaluable. I thought I was getting better in the third week, but thought it could just be a fluke, but now I'm seeing a definite pattern. No totally sleepless nights in 2 weeks. Sleeping about 6 hours a night, falling asleep quickly, feeling great the next day. For the first time in 9 months, I had undeniable signs of sleepiness. My book dropping, head nodding when reading, and this has been at 11:15 or 11:30, right as my buffer zone begins. Don't even need to wait for my sleep window. Just a quick comment here. Buffer zone is, when you do CBTI, that maybe half an hour before you are quote unquote allowed to go to bed, you're supposed to kind of wind down and kind of get ready for sleep. And if you feel sleepy during that time, for most people say it's okay to go to bed at that time. So that's just a quick comment on buffer zone. Let's continue reading. While things were adjusting, I was having a bit of trouble with micro sleeps in the afternoon and dozing while watching TV. This didn't diminish my sleep pressure, but I only watch an hour of TV at night and get a lot more out of it when I'm awake, exclamation mark. But for the past couple nights, I didn't have micro sleeps or dozing. I didn't even have head nodding, book dropping, just the slightest bit of heaviness beneath in my eyes and the slightest bit concentrating on my book. So I decided to try to see if I could sleep, figuring the worst that could happen would be I couldn't and would just go back and go read for a while. But I did. Aside from the easily quantifiable of 6 hours, here are all the behavioral and attitudinal changes and insights that I also count as progress. Throughout another supplement, 5-HTP, will keep on discarding all supplements except for melatonin and glycine, which my husband likes to use and thinks it helps him, even though he has some bad nights when taking them and some good nights with them, but that's his choice. As I started to get better, I was clinging to yoga/breathing videos, acting like it had magical powers because I was watching it every night before the buffer zone and then getting sleepy. But I knew intellectually that this wasn't what was causing the sleepiness and knew I shouldn't act like I had to watch it to sleep. So I started varying what I watched. And it's a lot more interesting than watching the same one night after night. When I first started CBT, I hated stimulus control. I called the sunroom where I went to the dungeon of shame, even though it's literally a nice room. I resented having to be there since I didn't think I was making progress and that it was just a lost cause. But now that it's worked as it should, I see there's nothing wrong with the sunroom. It's not like I was sleeping in bed. So even when I finish Martin's course in 4 weeks, I think I will read in the sunroom before bed, most likely for the rest of my life. It will keep me honest. My husband goes to bed at 11 every night like a clock, and I may not ever do this. Maybe 11 one night, 11:30 the next night. And this way I won't be tempted to try to go to sleep when I'm not ready, just because he is. It's all in the attitude. Instead of thinking, how horrible, I have to read in the sunroom, now I reframe it as, how nice, I get to read in the sunroom, some me time by myself. And then this way, if I have a bad night, I can escape into the sunroom where it is all set up for me with a blanket, book, and iPad. I'm no longer angry at everyone and everything. I was angry that my husband could sleep. I was angry that people weren't giving me secrets for sleeping, forgetting that it just happens naturally and there is no secret. I was angry and jealous when a movie or TV showed people sleeping. I was even mad at the sun for not giving me adequate sunshine to set my circadian rhythms. I have more confidence and equanimity. When I go to the bedroom, I think it's very possible that I may fall asleep easily, but accept that some nights I won't, or it may be more difficult. A couple of days, I took a strenuous 4-mile hike that I've not done in 9 months since insomnia. Although I accept what you say about insomnia not being known to cause any issues with morbidity or mortality, I still thought that it might have affected me this past 9 months on a cellular level. So I thought maybe I wouldn't be able to handle the hike. This was totally irrational. Except for the 3 days during the 9 months when I just couldn't force myself to exercise, I have been exercising 1 to 4 hours a day. So of course I could handle a 4-mile hike, but I really was apprehensive. It went fine. Even though I'm almost a year older than the last time I walked the trail, I had tons of energy, possibly some of which was just because I was so grateful to feeling better, and some because I have been working out so consistently and may have gained more strength and endurance even though not sleeping. So thanks. Signed by Ellen. I was super happy to read this email, and I hope that to anyone that, like Ellen, feels like, Ellen was literally not, in my opinion, I do think she had some paradoxical insomnia, and I Ellen may or may not agree with me here, but either way, if you you feel like you really don't sleep at all, hardly at all, or you're sleeping like, a few hours here and there, and that may or may not be the what is happening. You may sleep a little more of anything, but regardless of that, like if you're in a place where you're like, I hardly ever sleep, then please learn from the Ellen's journey that things can change. Things can change. Like you can go from a place where you hardly sleep at all to a place where you get a solid amount of sleep. And more importantly, and I think honestly, this is why Ellen has had so much success, is that Ellen has been focusing on daytime, like trying not to focus on the numbers, counting numbers of hours and things like that, but focusing on how she's active during the day and being positive. And I think that is one of the biggest reasons Ellen has had so much success. So a big thank you to you, Ellen, for letting me share this. And to anyone out there, I hope you find hope here. And I will be back with more, as you know, very soon. Until that time, hope you do fantastic. Bye for now.